Thanks, Saad, for being here. I'm happy to have you. Why are you doing what you are doing?
It's the challenge every day, becoming much better in terms of business.
What was the biggest challenge that Keenu has faced on the early days?
It's challenging and it's a very serious business. We have to understand that. Millions of rupees every day are being processed and not our money, it's somebody else's money. Challenge was, to be honest, was the recognition part. If you don't have that honor and dignity in you, you'll never care about the customer. How Keenu came was the time when POS machines were being reduced to nothing in Pakistan. We are on our way to going back to stone ages.
Thanks, Saad, for being here. I'm happy to have you. Finally, for my first recording in Karachi. So I'm like, bear up with us. We are just trying to understand also the market here and so. My first question will be to you to get straight to it. Why are you doing what you are doing today?
Well, what
It's a broad question, I know.
doing? What
But it can be like personal, professional, and mix. What makes you wake up every morning and like feel that great?
Yeah, it's the challenge every day. It's a challenge of becoming much better as a person and in terms of business. Of course, we have potential to do a lot more. We are standing right at the cusp of, a revolution in Pakistan that's called digital revolution. And we are one of the forerunners in terms of entities who will play a big role, who are playing a significant role right now and will play a big role in future in terms of digitization.
Mhm.
That doesn't let me sleep and that makes me wake up early.
Right.
Yeah. And so the passion with which we started our company like 12 years ago, I think it's been renewed because of the possibilities of are endless. So we are I represent sort of an entity. I'm co-founder and CEO of Keenu. Represent an entity that renews itself every.
So you've been from day one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So me,
I discovered Keenu in a shop in Lahore when I was buying meat. And I say, like, Keenu. I like, what is that? And that's where I discovered it, like just a few weeks ago. I didn't know the existence because you are a little bit in the back. I mean, we don't see you as like Pepsi or Cola or like company that is in the front. Are more an infrastructure that
That's right.
enable businesses.
rightly said, it was quite intentional because so journey started very differently and we are at a very different place. Didn't know we'll come this far, didn't know that we'll have this kind of thought processes after more than a decade.
Right.
So me and my colleagues, mostly my co-founders, mostly, and the only entity that has 5 co-founders, and all have been working very well, and all have that brotherhood to take the company forward. So most of us were bankers, and so when I started our journey, we were particularly sure that one way to attain gratitude of others is to market yourself very well.
Right.
But that doesn't serve the purpose that you left your banking for. That is, a business may not thrive necessarily. So our target audience has always been till now the businesses, the merchants. To them, we don't need to put anything on the social media. It's our personal one-to-one marketing that works for us. And our service will always fulfill the promise and will create the stickiness. So, yeah, but as I would say, millions of transactions happen on our network every month, and people recognize us that brand recall. So if we give you the numbers, so about 10 million people have a very good recall of what Keenu is.
Wow.
And without spending a fraction of our
Marketing.
competition and let alone large institutions, we have been able to attain that. We've used our assets very well. So we came across Keenu, and that is a win for us. And just remember, for minimal possible spent on marketing, we've been able to attain that. So that's the situation now. And that's the only thing that I do. And that is Keenu, totally focused towards it. Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that Keenu has faced on the early days? Because I guess on the 10, 12 years back, digitizing the finance, it's like kind of a dream or
It's challenging and it's a very serious business. We have to understand that, you can't really put, the fun element into it at the very start. As the brand personality builds, the fun element gets eroded into the proposition. But it's considered to be a very serious business. It is a serious business.
yeah, of course. You're playing with people's money.
Billions of rupees every day are being processed, and it's not our money, it's somebody else's money.
Exactly.
And that then we cannot touch, but we have to ensure it reaches them. Biggest challenge was, to be honest, was the recognition part, because trust is very important, and to gain that trust, it took us years. But one thing that I
Tries with business owners or with also regulators or like in all levels, I guess.
So, in terms of regulators, we were lucky to have, at that time, regulator was really supportive. Till now, now regulator has played a leading role in what we have now, what we have achieved now. So, support of regulator was always there. Of course, paradigm shift takes a lot of time. You come up with a new idea that has not been previously done. Regulator takes its due time, and rightly so, because an entity or a person entering into financial system, which is malicious, a malicious person may destroy the whole ecosystem.
Of course.
So biggest problem was recognition, but we earned it piece by piece, merchant by merchant, shop by shop. So you get a chance, you enter as a small player, then you provide better services, keeps on increasing. The pressures pile up, the cash is being burnt at the back end, but that was the biggest challenge.
Because before you, it was only money actually. It's money transaction. I mean, Keenu was the biggest competitor was like money transaction, or you had other
when we start,
competitions. Yeah.
you see, there's opportunity in every era, every time.
Right.
So how Keenu came about was the time when POS machines were being reduced to nothing in Pakistan. We were on our way to going back to Stone Ages. That was in 2012.
Right.
That is where the idea of Keenu came in, that, international banks are wrapping up as policy, and they're wrapping up their acquiring business, which means imagine a world where you go take your card to a shop, to any place, for, I don't want to name any brand right now, and then they say, oh, go to the ATM, take out cash and give me cash, right? Or you have to transfer funds, but you can't transfer it, you actually give out check. So banks were doing it. We were the fifth entrant into the market. We entered into a bloody ocean, actually. But we knew that these four entities are not enough. Pakistan requires like 40 entities, and we could be the one who would fill that gap, and provide services that are absent. Plus, you see, as a saying goes, that if you ask your customers what they want, so they would ask for faster horses. They would never ask for automobiles.
Right.
So we brought about a few things. To be honest, we were way ahead of our time. The concept of a fintech never existed when we started business.
Really.
VCs were almost, in fact, there was no VC present in Pakistan. So we predate everyone. We raised our funds. Nowadays, people celebrate after raising funds. We had no clue that there was something to celebrate about. We pivoted when we did not, so we didn't even know the terminology pivot, and it's supposed to be a positive. 5 years down the line, when we saw, so the story goes, a person started, raised seed capital of $1 million and then pivoted to this. So, my God, we can write a book on Keenu. Keenu has been stories of blood and tears and perseverance. So, yeah, the question was, what was the challenge? Challenge was, again, recognition. That happened, everything fell into place. The constant thing is making people believe that we are building for something huge and great. We're building the pyramid of Giza that will outlast humanity itself.
Right.
But that has to be reaffirmed every time. If this business is built on the sugar,
But the big vision was there, I think, from day one.
we have done probably 8-9% of what we wanted to do. Still a long way to go. And a lot of tricks up our sleeves as well, a lot of executions that we need to do in the future.
Wow. Oh, can we just explain a little bit what is Keenu is doing exactly so people can understand, and our audience, especially from Middle East, that doesn't know how Pakistan, as we were talking off camera, that doesn't know that Pakistan do amazing tech nationally and export it. How, I mean, I know it's payment processing, but I think, I don't know if you have the hardware also, just software, both.
It's the whole 9 yards, That's what the belief was. You complete the entire value chain. That's how you call it. We have recently launched our merchant wallet as well, which is called the business wallet. We have our own acquiring network, as in UCR acceptance terminals across the country. One of the largest players in the market. I don't want to get into the debate of who's the largest, who's,
Yeah,
because I believe
we don't need
quality
to.
and being the best. Company does well, it's in good shape, so that's what matters. And expansion is what is the key in serving our merchants. So business wallet, merchant wallets, plus we provide a lot of tech to the back end of merchants,
Right.
fulfill their needs, create efficiencies, generate more footfall. So that is what we are all about. In future, it will be much more. A lot of other services are planned for 2026 that will not only increase our magnitude and size in terms of number of customers, but also will offer certain services that are probably internationally absent in a lot of countries, and could be a door or could be a portal for us to expand our services beyond borders as well. But for now, Pakistani market has so much to do that I think spending another decade over here is not enough, even with all our forces combined.
Yeah, because it's still like an economy with a lot of black. I mean, it's a black, not black, but undocumented economy, let's say. So there's a lot of cash going in and out from businesses. So Kino maybe is
We are evolving as a
supporting this
absolutely.
mission.
Yeah. So the firm belief is, Sarah, that whatever you do, you have to be at the forefront, and you have to wait for the wave. So we have waited quite long. Perseverance is something that I believe is a quality of people who work at Keenu. So now is the time we believe that, putting in our investment into this area now gives us results, because people now demand.
Now you're picking up the fruits.
Absolutely. So people demand being digitized, which was earlier not the case. It was many reasons, cultural factors, religious factors. So as evolution, we are now getting the understanding that this has nothing to do with any of those problems. Getting documented is eventually going to be in their benefit. Unfortunately, Pakistan, I always say that we have lots of talent. We have very good thought process. We have brave people, more brave than probably you'll find any.
Very resilient.
They're resilient. But we have been starved of the capital, unfortunately. Our optics have never been good and unjust to this great country that I live in. And especially being in Karachi, the resilient of the resilient, as you say.
And have you felt this? I felt that you were ahead a little bit of the market. So sometimes we struggle to have that product market fit, that being attractive, let's say, to potential customers or institution or wherever. I think that was a very long wait. Or how hard was it for you and for your co-founder team?
Yeah, you could actually understand it this way, that we started in 2013, and right now I'm sitting alive and well in 2025. So it's 12 and a half year. I count every day. So 12 and a half years is a lifetime. Companies start, they prime, and they get sold 3 times during this area
Of course.
during this time period. So my thing is, um the journey was a struggle, was painful as well, but that pain and that reward, the reward would always outweigh. And so product market fit, as far as that's concerned, yeah, that was the biggest challenge. A lot of things we used to talk about, people would talk about after 5 years, and market themselves in a manner that people thought they are the innovators. You don't have to feel bad about it. You know, Eventually, the best entity that provides the best service wins. This is the reality of life. And if your chips are down, you're down and out. You just have to make sure the cash flow is stable. Companies don't fail because of anything else but the cash flow. You have to make sure it is flowing. You have to make sure that you're dedicated, focused on your path. And I believe
Your units economics and
that's what we got to do. Rest, leave it.
and obsession about the customer also, I say.
See, if you don't have that honor and dignity in you, you'll never care about the customer. And if you have that, you'll always worry that, my name and my company's name is at stake. And everything else takes care of itself. So, yeah, the biggest struggle was we were not understood. But slowly and gradually, when we kept on pushing, generated trial, then people can't look back.
Mm.
And that's how the story happens.
And now you are like in 150 cities. I mean, it's massive across Pakistan. How we can scale on a very big market, very diverse market, without uh, lacking on quality and having this consistency all the time?
It starts from the top, the attitude. You see, if you ever come to Keenu, you will realize that you would say Saad is not the CEO of Keenu. Saad is actually the leader of bandits. He's riding the same horse, just the difference is he's riding up front. That's it. So if you start thinking that a CEO or a co-founder is the owner of the business, then the game is done. The ownership will never trickle down to the junior most person, and there's no concept of
About leadership and culture.
absolutely leadership, culture, ownership. So in Kino, the culture is such that anyone who feels that something needs to be added, something needs to be improved, they can walk right into their manager's office, and let alone me. And I am a manager of quarterbacks. I have never said that I'm the brilliant. In fact, probably I'm the most average person in the company. And I am very proud of people who work at Kino.
Of course, they have to be better than you at the CEO.
So you brew that culture and everything happens. The culture is the most difficult part, I believe. And that is how the person who's working the remote most territory recognizes that. They know that there's no compromise on quality. We don't believe in the fact that you sign up that you sign up in office at 9 a.m. and you leave at 5 a.m. You do what your customer does. I mean, there are a lot of people in Keenu who start in the afternoon and working late till night. So it's all about curating those characters, great characters in the company, mashallah. And they have a playground, they have a very good environment to work at Keenu, and they have that ownership.
We were just talking earlier also about talents in Pakistan. Uh, there is great talents, but sometimes it's hard to find the right gem for the right position. How do you manage to hire the right people that will really drive the growth?
We've tried everything. And
What is the secret sauce, the finest secret sauce?
it's in a country like Pakistan, it's a very, this is a shortcut you can't take. You will not find a person who fit. You rather
It's
find,
right and
right, one approach is try 10. The other approach is find them young, get the basic qualities, train them, teach them, make them part of your own family,
right.
and then let them thrive. In terms of a company, um, good balance sheet on our back, courtesy Bazaar, who acquired us. So I think, what could you ask for? Great set of people, young, and a blend of young and experienced people. I think we should be the billion-dollar company that, I mean, I'm not going to say that big companies don't exist over here, but a bootstrap company doing everything on its own, now coming around, priming at the right time, have the tech on its back and have the experience on its back and have a good repute and name. I think it's time to go for the kill, and grab that prize of
the next level. Talking about the acquisition, how an acquisition happened in Pakistan, like between two tech companies. Because I know like everyone wants to be having that exit in the US or Europe or whatever. But I think like acquisition within the country, this is very rare actually, but at least within the region, it's for me that's the most powerful.
It's a one of a kind thing. Never happened before.
Yeah, I've never heard like.
But doesn't suit us. I mean, we if marketing ourselves doesn't suit us. What happened is great. So the two
Tell me the story.
yeah. So two entities having similar set of mindset
Right.
and similar set of crazy leadership,
Mhm.
who are just mad about, who just mad in terms of normal people, and
Right.
crazy in terms of achieving their objective. We came together, we talked, and I mean, instantly we knew that combining our forces is the way to go, and we can actually achieve a multiplier effect. and the possibilities in the area where Bazaar worked and where
So what was Keenu bringing to Bazaar and what Bazaar brings to Keenu?
Keenu obviously brings in payments. Bazaar obviously brings in e-commerce.
E-commerce part.
Commerce in general, both basically. And the combined effect could be a huge impact, and you will see that impact happening in the near future, inshallah. So it seemed like a match made in heaven. After the acquisition, we were reaffirmed by the fact that this genuinely was a divine intervention in some ways. We did not market it to the extent that we don't keep on flaunting it, but we did in our Pakistan. And from here on, we want to become that entity that is all encompassing, that is all conquering in this area, and then might as well expand into region by, one day acquiring some entity outside of Pakistan. So, yeah, that's the
Exciting days ahead. And what is success will look for you? Because you told me like you are just 8-9% of what you're doing. So what success will look like for you at Keenu or regarding financial inclusion in general?
should be serving nothing short of a million merchants, should have 50 million customers with us. We should be digitizing at least 50% of Pakistan's cash in circulation.
50%.
Working. Yeah, I mean,
Quite big.
it's quite big, but it's about where you take your heart from, you take your ambition from. It's the numbers when you consider other countries. So if I talk about our neighboring countries, our ratios are actually topsy-turvy. So right now, 10% odd transactions happening through POS, rest happening through ATMs. In India, it's like 60-40 in favor of POS and digital transactions. So 60-40.
So yeah, comparing to neighbor market like India, Indonesia, this is bigger markets also.
India, Sri Lanka for that matter. You talk about Iran, you talk about other countries, Indonesia, Philippines, they're far ahead, which means what they have achieved, we can achieve in
Of course,
life.
of course.
So we are right now standing at the very starting point, the basic point. So success should be nothing short for an entity like Keenu, that we achieve numbers whereby we can start showing the real impact. A lot of cash in circulation that should become digitized. Merchants absolutely underserved. The regulations and the laws are now in our favor, which means slowly and gradually, and that slowly and gradually is not too slow, by the way. I mean, I see this is all happening. The first year was year 4, rather, right? And that is where it started, and it became quite of a challenge. But you see, what you realize slowly, that the biggest award for any person would be a plan that you think, what you conceive, and then you see it out there working in front of your eyes.
That's the best.
And then expanding.
Yeah.
Money cannot bring you that kind of happiness. Trust me. It's see what you plan, the strategy that you adopted, it came into the product, and somebody got it. Then somebody said improve it. We did improve it. Then some third person goes and says, "Why have you adopted Keenu?" And they say it's the best. So I think that accolade and award is unmatched. I think you could never enjoy that working in a banking environment. And then money always follows, I believe. It does. But
when you bring value.
Yeah, but you have to understand it's never enough. It should never be about it.
Exactly.
It should provide you comfort, but it'll never buy you happiness.
Of course.
Happiness is about creating and making and consolidating what's out there, what you have built yourself.
Definitely. What keeps you up at night?
That I may not be able to fully grab the opportunities that are out there, and I don't want to miss any.
Really?
I don't want to leave any stone unturned, and I want my brand and my company to become not the best, but the best and beat itself every day. And whatever can go wrong,
grow itself every day.
So paranoia, I think, if it becomes too much, then you become a psycho of sorts. But a bit of paranoia is always good,
So you have really this obsession like every day.
Without obsession, I think my personality is that I may not even step out of my room. So obsession is what keeps me driving. And I now believe that challenge is sent by God, to make you much,
of course,
much
to
better
grow
person,
as a person.
So competition should not be welcome, but when it comes, you should give it the best possible fight. And the fight is not for one day. So you have to understand the difference between a battle and a war. So battles can be lost, but eventually one should always wish and strive to win the war eventually, which is not going to span 1 year, 1 month, 2 years, like decades. So those who have the right himmat, as we call it, and who have the right perseverance, resilience, and the vision at the same time. Not easy. You got to train yourself. You have to give personal sacrifice. I don't think there's an element of work-life balance and the books that we read.
No,
You can't become big. You know, if you want to sleep 8 to 10 hours every day and work on
have your weekend.
your children can probably do that, but for whom you're gonna build?
For the builder.
Yeah, but for the builder, sleepless nights, putting your mind in beta stage, without that, you never get solutions. And I hate to be only a me too. You should take aspirations from others, what they're doing, but original thought is the key. The moment you lose original thought, then you always be a copycat and you will do the same mistakes that others have done. Life is too short for that, isn't it? We should learn from others' mistakes, always have the original thought. Always think about rewriting the rules, not breaking them,
Of course,
them,
of
evolving
course,
them.
of course. And this is what is possible in these countries like Pakistan or
Absolutely.
Middle Eastern country, or that's what is exciting. I feel like really writing things from
So one thing that I do myself, and I tell my colleagues as well, that stop. Don't try to show off. Don't try to project yourself.
right.
Your work will project it yourself. So
Let the success talk.
absolutely, our culture is such that we really like to brag in front of our parents. We really like to brag in front of our big. So first you gotta say,
In Morocco, no worries.
oh, my son does that, I do that. So the quietest one in the room is probably the most strongest one in the room. That's what I believe in, and that applies to companies as well. If you're a simple man, you have less expenses, you will never run out of money, right? And same goes for the companies.
Right.
You expand, you spend where necessary. Otherwise, be very wise in what you do. So marketing myself out just that Sara could notice us is not going to serve my company's purpose.
Of course.
Whereas where you went, you eventually saw us. You didn't spend a single money in attracting you to our platform, but you finally saw us, right? And that is the win we would like to enjoy and cherish, and that's going to outlive us as well.
Of course. Final word of advice of people building in this region, for this region.
See, you have to be very conscious of the problems, solve the problems, be creative. Please have a high self-esteem. The low self-esteem is the one thing that kills you. The bigger your ego, the worse you're going to perform. Should never be afraid of,
Ego is your worst enemy.
oh, yes.
Actually.
You should never put good money after bad money. You should have the sense and courage to kill a particular product or offering if it's going to destroy you or your company at any stage in time. Should never be worried about what people shall say. Always should make a decision which is business friendly decision, which makes good business sense, and person who wins is the one who has perseverance, whose passion matches your vision as well, and along with that business sense. You see, one thing that I would give a very clear message of, what business is this that you put in 10 rupees and you say you're going to get back 6? You put in 10, a business has to give you back 12 rupees. That's what a business is.
Of course.
Otherwise, it's probably a lab experiment. So are we out there to do lab experiments, or are we out there to do real business? Are we out there to flaunt ourselves? I'm so glad that you didn't know about me, but you knew about
We're
Keenu.
going to keep on the phone. Phone is recording. It's okay. It's okay. No problem.
So I'm so glad you didn't find out about me, but you found out about Keenu. So
Yeah, I didn't know you.
So it was it was not Saad Niazi's Keenu.
With Keenu, delivering the service.
Saad works in Keenu.
Yeah.
And that was our conscious decision from day one. So I don't want to market myself. My brand is the one that should become big, and it has, alhamdulillah. And maybe one day, long after we are gone, I'm gone, it shall grow. So that should be the basis of your struggle. And you shall not fail, inshallah. right? So
Congratulations on that. Lovely. Actually, I really enjoyed this discussion. Thank you for making it.
continue it. Please, I invite you to come to my office, inshallah.
We will do it.
We'll order food that is as per your taste buds. If you don't like much spicy food, then you would order very good bland food as well for you. But please come.
Thank you very much.
Right now,
I'll come, inshallah. I'll come, inshallah, tomorrow.
it's on record that I've invited you.